PushGapRadio.com, Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth.
I noticed that your generation of women, everybody and their mama have big butts.
Yeah.
You like big butt women?
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
I like naturally
Right.
big, but like I don't want it to look unnatural.
You other brothers can't deny.
And so these women got all these butts that are looking unnatural. Is that attractive?
To some people.
Why do the brothers like the big ass?
When I was growing up, you always would see these women and everybody go, damn, with a Y. When you can make a brother say damn with a Y, you got a nice ass.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Let me take over for you here, DL. As a man who's not blessed biologically in many categories, I'll say that I believe the African-American man prefers a woman with a big ass because he's more well-equipped to deal with it.
To all the black women who feel some type of way about this, post a comment right now. This is for you guys.
Black men are attracted to big butts.
That's not a hot take.
That's not a hot
That has
take.
got to be one
What
of
are
the coldest.
you talking about?
I mean, there's nothing biologically innate to like black men to like ass.
I think it ties into hip hop and the whole strip club scene right now. We are so far gone from like the natural aesthetics of just a natural person.
These guys have no idea what they're talking about. Big butts have been popular even in Africa long before this. This whole cultural dances. Y'all didn't invent twerking. It's been around way before that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but then again, Americans sometimes they really think they the center of that. Yeah, we started.
Yeah,
it.
but
it was before that.
Black folks
it was
on the
before
continent been about them.
It's
big
a
butts.
cultural thing.
Yes,
but Latinos like black butts too.
They didn't always. There was a time where Eurocentric looks
because they were yeah.
There's no doubt that hip hop definitely helped propagate that to the mainstream.
I'm mad at that.
But in terms of like people of dark complexion being into fat asses, it's kind of always been true.
Do they buy those butts?
Some more.
Hey, welcome to Estevan TV. I'm at PushGapRadio.com.
PushGapRadio.com. Bridging the gap between old school and new school radio. PushGapRadio.com. It's Dallas, baby.
PushGapRadio.com, Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth.
PushGapRadio.com in Dallas and Fort Worth. Welcome back to B-Town. Thank you for spending another week with us. Now, today we're going to get into a video I thought was a little deep, kind of funny. We're going to get into this guy who breaks down why black men love big ass, this nigga. You know the drill. He's breaking it down. He's breaking down the evolutionary, biological, genetic, and scientific reasons as to why black men are infatuated with fat asses, fam. Why do brothers prefer more curvier women? Women that are a little bit more thick and shapely. Now, thickness ain't thickness now. Some of y'all just fat. Okay. You know that statue down there in New York City, Times Square? But yeah, black men as a rule, we prefer them a little curvier and a little bit more meat on the bone. But they know what we know, that it's all genetic. They hate us because they ain't us, Kim Kardashian. Look how they down black women's lips and butts and then go right out and get the same thing done to them. The BBL, it's all over the internet. Been hearing a whole lot of bad things about that. Me, myself, I like them natural. My personal preference is I like a butt, but, I don't like no big ghetto-ass booty. Okay? Me, myself, my preference, I like a nice little basketball size, something you can palm with one hand. Okay? We ain't trying to get too deep here. But me, I'm a leg man. What are you? Some people are breast men, ass men, leg men, lips, whatever your preference. Me, myself, I'm a leg man. My wife, Jackie O, has gorgeous legs. Now, the video we're about to get into, that we're reacting to or deciphering in this instance, because we're not on the air live. So basically, okay, we're not reacting. So this is Ken LaCorte on YouTube. His channel is called Elephants in the Room. Now, I don't agree with everything he said in the video, but the man makes a lot of great points. But, he's just giving his hypothesis, and that's what that is. But I feel like mostly all men like a fat ass. Again, people have their preferences. Leg man, breast man, ass man. Your choice. But in the hood, it's just something that we're used to. You grew up with it. Your mom, your grandmother, your great-grandmom. Okay. Not that you're looking, but I'm just talking about it down through the annals of history with black people. That's how our women are built. Lionel Richie made a song about it called Brick House. Remember? But hey, if there's some sort of science or something, cut me in on it. Let me know. I didn't have to go study a book to understand why the brothers like fat asses, you understand? And the video is, why do black men like big butts?
And I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny.
The elephant in the room is this. Why do black men like big butts? And is that even true, or is it just another wrong racial stereotype? They're questions that have launched 1,000 rap lyrics and even a few scientific studies. We'll look into the evolutionary roots of why men find certain shapes attractive, the contrasting beauty standards between African and Europeans, and how they've changed over time, but persisted in African American culture. And let me get my own biases out of the way first. For all my life, I've been a small butt guy. So I was fascinated at how millions of men came to the opposite conclusion. But first, let's make sure that question is fair. Do black men, in fact, love big butts more than others? And can I generalize about an entire race's preferences? Actually, yes, I can, especially when there's solid science backing it up. And on this, the science is clear. Black men love big butts, and it's not even debatable. Now, I know some of you are going to think guys of all races like big butts, and that's true, but there's a spectrum of preferences within every group. And the data consistently shows that race plays a significant role in backside desires. Let's start with some data. A study by the University of Texas found that African American men are twice as likely to prefer a large rear compared to their white counterparts. But it's not just a black and white issue. The study also found that Latino men share this preference, but to a lesser degree than the African American men. And dating site statistics back this up as well. When researchers analyzed the body type preferences selected by users on popular dating platforms, they found clear differences between racial groups. Again, African American men were far more likely to search for thicker, curvier body types compared to white men. And interestingly, it's not just about the size of the prize. It turns out that there's an ideal angle of the dangle. The University of Texas study found that men overwhelmingly preferred a 45-degree curve at the lower spine. This
Man,
magic
Ken
number.
breaking it down, huh? I feel him though. Think about that 45-degree angle. Fellas, just think about it. 45 degrees. That onion be perched up there perfectly. Yeah, see, with that 45-degree angle, it gives you a longer torso. And it makes that monkey sit up there, nigga, like a bookshelf. 45 degrees make it pop.
This magic number held true across all races, but researchers noticed that the desired degree of curvature was most exaggerated among African American men. But wait, there's more. It's not just about the back, it's about the waist to hip ratio, to be precise. Studies show that the preferred ratio differs significantly by race. African American men tend to prefer a more extreme contrast between a small waist and large hips, while white men generally prefer a more moderate difference.
They said that all men like a little curvature, but it's more exaggerated amongst the brothers. Now, Mr. LaCorte here is giving his hypothesis from the outside looking in, a European. He already told you his preference. He like a softball size. Joe Louis. We all know genetics plays a huge factor in the way we're built. Biology for damn sure. Yeah, as black men, we're just more genetically predisposed to like that sort of body. They say back in the day, that showed a sign of health and fertility and whatnot. A woman with big hips was of childbearing age. But it's all genetics and biology. That's why we excel at everything. Sports, you name it. Anywhere you stick us, it's genetics. They know that about us. We just sometimes act like we don't know about it ourselves. The white women hated it. Remember back in the day when Bo Derek was in the movies in the 70s? Those of you of a certain age. They got on black women and black people about braiding their hair. And then white woman, Bo Derek, gets her hair in braids. Pow, she's a 10. Okay? They put down the sister's body shape. Bada bing. Kim Kardashian, her mom, and everybody else. We got implants. They hate us, but they won't let us go. Everything we do is ghetto and uncivilized. They take it, slap it up, mix it, rub it down. Oh, no. Okay? Parliament told you back in the day, it's an aqua boogie affair, baby. EU told you back in the day, doing the bot. KC and the Sunshine Band, shake your booty. You think they were looking at white women when they created them songs? You think they was looking at the sisters? Don't play, mine. So yeah, the brothers like big butts. One is marketed to us by our culture in general, rap music, all the hip hop videos. It was in our music back in the day too, before it became raunchy and Sexy Red and all of these types. You didn't think Felicia Rashad of The Cosby Show had a fat ass? Come on now. Today, they just show it all. Every video, the sisters shaking their ass. Every video. You don't know what their face look like because they always got their ass poked in the air. Every TikTok, every Facebook. Come on, man. Then when they treat you as such, you're upset. But yeah, our culture. The rap songs, they always talked about how thick she was, thicker than gumbo and thicker than day-old oatmeal. So yeah, we're predisposed to like that. A lot of white boys like it too. They just on the low about it.
When Europeans arrived with their own beauty standards, many African cultures actively resisted these impositions. Maintaining traditional aesthetics became a form of cultural preservation and identity in the face of oppression. Now fast forward to today, and we can see how these deep-rooted preferences continue to shape beauty standards in the African American communities. Cultural artwork, from jazz album covers to hip-hop music videos, has consistently celebrated curvier body types. There's also been a strong community emphasis on resisting mainstream beauty standards that are often rooted in European ideals. For many, embracing fuller figures is a way of kind of honoring their cultural heritage and identity. So maybe the preference for larger body types among black men isn't just a superficial trend, but a result of thousands of years of evolutionary adaptations and cultural traditions. Kim Kardashian helped build an empire by copying black beauty ideals. So it's certainly possible that Sir Mix-a-Lot was a philosopher ahead of his time.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny.
I find that interesting, but not interesting enough to change the team I'm on.
All the women want to be thick. If it's not natural or they can't get it in the gym, plastic surgery, baby. Every chick on the internet trying to be thick or give the illusion of. Think about, guys, when you're in the gym. Now, when you go to the gym to work out, what do you wear? Sweatpants, shorts, loose t-shirt. Why would I go to the gym in something tight to work out in? It's going to restrict motion. What do the sisters have on when they come in? What do the women have on when they come in? Something tight. Something that's going to show that monkey and something that's going to show that fart locker. But then get offended if you take a peek. But you know it is what it is. But you know everything with us as a people is about stereotypes. They objectify and sexualize the sisters. But hell, they do it to themselves as well. In our community, because we don't run anything, the Charleston White said it best. In our community, they give hoe culture to our girls. They give gangster culture to our boys. Whole lot of stereotypes in our community. A lot of it come from them people. Black body is at the center of all the little stereotypes that they come up with. When it comes to the black body, there's one big stereotype that's alive and well today. The black man's Joe Louis. It ain't just talked about as big. It's been called gigantic, beast-like, unhuman, and untamed. If you want to check it out, you can go to The Myths of the Big Black Penis by Myra Flynn. Okay, she recorded this and published it September 19th of 2024. She's interviewing a porn star and a female sexologist who knows a lot about the origin of this stereotype that plagues black men. But yeah, it's always about the black man's Joe Louis. They say that's where that saying about the gun is the great equalizer. Sam Coate made the gun. When they pulled them off them slave ships, when they stripped them brothers down, they couldn't believe it, fam. And they were intimidated. But stereotypes, man. Our Joe Louises have been historically depicted in caricatures and other visual art as weapons. We're depicted as inexhaustible sex machines that can only be used for labor and sex. That was written in a book back in 1957 by Kyle Onstadt in a book called Mandingo. Speaking of books, the association between the black man's Joe Louis and sexuality predates the modern understanding of race. Even the Bible talks about in Ezekiel 23 and 20. Pull out your Bibles. I'll give you a second to get there. Then we're going to pass the plate. Okay, lock them damn doors. But yeah, Ezekiel 23 and 20 says, they lusted after their lovers whose genitals were like those of donkeys and emissions were like that of stallions. Check this out.
By. And also, when you think of the cliche stereotype of black men, right? What's the most cliche stereotype of black men? Oh, black men, we have, large phalluses. Well, guess what? When you're surrounded by a bunch of women who are curvy and shapely and, their bodies are explosive, you're going to need, a lot of masculine endowment in order to, make it past all the curvature in the bedroom, right? So even the Most High, even Allah, the creator, whatever you want to call him, he already knew, right? I got to give these men a large amount of masculine endowment because I know these women, their booties is outrageous. So in order to be compatible and make it to their destination in the bedroom, I got to give them a lot of equipment to make it past all the curvature. And scientists actually did studies on which nations of men actually have the largest masculine endowment. And it's no coincidence that those nations also have women who are extremely curvy, extremely shapely. I think there's a correlation between the two. That's just my hypothesis. I didn't run no tests. I don't got no sources. That's me putting 2 and 2 together.
But yeah, sometimes it can be a tricky stereotype to recognize because it's usually dressed up as a compliment. But in reality, this myth is as harmful as it is complimentary. It's objectifying, dehumanizing, race-based sexual stereotype rooted in slavery, auctions, and the sale of black bodies. So yeah, old Myra said they're unraveling the thread of dehumanization that's followed black men from the auction block to our computer screens. Because that interracial, boy, they say that's the biggest thing on the net. Not white men, black women. It's the brothers running up in grandmom and everybody else. You understand? But yeah. Go check out Myra. Let her tell you about it. But yeah, do you like little booties? Not all the brothers like ghetto asses. Not everybody. People have their preference. Niggas like what they like. What do you like? Put it in the comments.
Let me take over for you here, DL. As a man who's not blessed biologically in many categories, I'll say that I believe the African American man prefers a woman with a big ass because he's more well equipped to deal with it.
Than white penises across the board for sure. Whip it out. I want proof.
I am expected to have a big dick. 2, 1, go.
Nobody disagrees. Yeah, I feel like it's a stereotype, and we know that stereotypes aren't realistic, but I mean, personal encounters, I don't feel like there's leeway. I feel like, okay, that one we're keeping. Like, that's what the general notion is.
It's a fetish that's out there. They expect it.
Whip it out. I want proof.
I'm setting the curb on this.
White guys, it's not even big enough to whip out. You gotta poke it out.
Neither one is wrong or right. It's just choices. You like Coke, you like Pepsi. You like hamburgers, you like hot dogs. You go to Wingstop, do you like all drumettes or all flats? Everyone has preferences. Everyone is biased to what they like in their life. But what's going on again when it comes to liking that badonkadonk? It's more than just preferences. It's about how two separate beauty standards are colliding. Black women trying to be like white women trying to be like black women, to a degree. Yeah, cultural beauty standards finally collide. When they see it on the white woman, they think it's cultural appropriation. Some call it progress. But here's what they're missing. Black beauty standards haven't just survived. In most instances, they're winning the war. Again, because of black women, Kim Kardashian built a damn empire of having a fat butt. Cardi B, all these people wouldn't got their pooch shoe to work on, copying black beauty ideals. They hate us because they ain't us. Ain't us. They hate us because they ain't us. That's all I got to say about that. Devastating, titillating, definitely invigorating. Not like I'm insinuating that I think we stimulating. Reason that we get good ratings because we don't be perpetrating. All we got to do is touch a microphone with Shaka 401 in the main event on PushGapRadios.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe. We're almost at 5,000 subs, man. If you could just help us out. Small thing to you, huge thing to us over here. For those of you who've been logging on, checking us out and riding with us, we greatly appreciate you. Again, check us out on our social medias. You can find it there at our YouTube channel through the links. And again, don't forget to follow us. And remember this, the people who follow us aren't followers. Pray until something happens. God always provides. At PushGapRadios.com, the power is in the name. Thank you one and all, and we will see you next week. And every week after, every Thursday at 10 a.m. PushGapRadios.com. Dallas, baby. And we're out.